Everyone. I have a question to ask. How good are you in making a decision? Or is it that when time comes, you ask your parents, your friends, your elders, your relatives, your guardian uh, to take a decision on your behalf? Which one? Let me tell you, as you grow up, learn to take small decisions in your life. Okay? I'm sure it is not easy for us to decide at times. We make wrong decisions, we make blunders, we make disasters. I've also done that. But that will help you learn through the process to take decisions. So if you can't take a decision in your life, you don't actually become a responsible person by character. In order to be a responsible person by character, you need to learn to take decisions. Even if I come to career decision, please take your own decisions. Do not look up to your parents that they'll decide for you what you would want to become in future, or they'll decide for you which course you would take or you would pursue, which stream of studies would you pursue for your future career to build. I'll tell you a small example. When I was in one of the organizations I was working in a good position there. So my senior once had told me that I was a little bit indecisive about deciding over a situation, deciding over and giving a consent to the client about something. So he came to me and he advised me that in life it is so important to take a decision. You may not make a correct decision every time, but when you start taking decisions, there is where you realize that you're growing responsible. And as you grow responsible, as you learn to take decision, you're actually leading, you're actually taking the ownership of any initiative, you're taking the ownership of any assignment, any project. For example, if you are given the charge, if you are entrusted with the duty or with the responsibility to drive a project, and there taking the ownership, you back out, you recede from deciding over situations, do you think you'll be successful enough to execute, implement and complete the project? You won't be. How will you develop your character? How will you build your character? It's so easy to build a career. But before you think of building your career, think of building your character first. And to build your character, it's so important to learn to take responsibility, to take ownership in order to become a leader. I'm sure no one of you would want to become a follower and back out in the race, in the group, in the pack, right? You always would want to lead the pack. And in order to lead, what are the elements, what are the criteria, what are the attributes you need to make intrinsic in your character? You need to inculcate and instill in your character. One and the most important attribute should be your sense of responsibility. If you are a responsible person, you learn to take ownership. Okay, fine, I'll take the ownership. Okay, fine, I'll take the initiative. Okay, fine, I'll stand out, I'll front end. That attitude develops, from your sense of responsibility when you start taking ownership. And when you take ownership, it depends on you how you drive your team or how you drive a project or how you drive your work. And when you learn to take ownership, you automatically drive your own self. You become self-driven and you learn to take decisions. Until you learn to take decision, until you learn to take ownership, you will not turn or transform into a responsible human being. Right? So learn to take small decisions from now. For people who are very indecisive by character, who feel that it's difficult for me to decide, I always need someone's support, someone's consent, someone's guidance, I need to discuss and consult with someone in order to decide over a matter, please stop that right away. May your decision be wrong, doesn't need to be completely 100% correct every time. Face the disaster, face the consequence for having decided wrong, doesn't matter. But entire life, if you keep depending on others to take decisions for you, learn to take decisions. For the young children, for the adults, for people of every age criteria, this is my advice to you, because I have learned taking ownership in my work sphere, in my personal life. So both personal and professional sphere, you can handle well, you can lead well, you can take the ownership and stand out as a leader only when you learn to take decisions. And that ability of taking decisions will reform your character and make you a responsible being. Thank you for listening.